Versatile Mage. Chapter 205 Battle Against the Backup Boys. The White Rabbit girl cheerfully went off to select her room. As a sister, Mu Nujiao was very close with her, so she quickly followed after her. It was clear Mu Nujiao didn't want to co-rent with a guy. You could tell her thoughts from her knitted eyebrows. Mo Fan didn't mind at all. Being able to see two beautiful girls jumping around in his surroundings while cultivating was definitely a pleasurable matter. Mu Nujiao was definitely very attractive, and her figure was undeniably fine. Buildings and buildings of men fantasized about her. Now, he would be able to live together with her. This was just living high on the clouds. What was the saying again? A single man enters university, graduates as a family of 3. It seemed like he was not far away from that kind of lifestyle. Mo Fan did not bicker about paying half of the rent. He originally only wanted 2 rooms, one for himself and one for Xinxia. Xinxia was about to enter her holidays, and he couldn't let her remain in school or go back to the safety placement room. It had been a while since he met her, so it would be a good time for him to talk love, talk about emotions again. He didn't have to worry about his father. He had wanted to return to Bo City for a while. According to Xinxia, he might have gotten himself a woman, so he would remain there for a longer period of time. Mo Jiaxing had been living as a bachelor for a long time. It was finally time for spring to return to him. Thus, Mo Fan transferred $1 million to him so he could casually squander money. Tusk, transferring $1 million to his father's card. Having money was extremely comfortable. I-Tutu, Mu Nujiao called out to the bouncing white rabbit girl a bit angrily. I-Tutu obediently walked back, looking as though she had done something bad. Her eyes, however, looked very sharp. Sister Mu, I know I was wrong. I know you don't want to live with outsiders. However, aren't you curious about what kind of method he used to escape from your forest of Kun back then? Additionally, don't you think this guy has many hidden secrets? I-Tutu wasn't stupid at all. She immediately pointed this out. I-Tutu did indeed mention all of the thoughts Mu Nujiao had. Mu Nujiao was an existence invincible amongst her peers. She had never imagined that she would be defeated by a common-born magician at the rookie competition. Additionally, Mu Nujiao had also heard about the gymnasium incident. The person who really killed the mother beast had to be Mo Fan. If you wanted Mu Nujiao to believe that a person who could single-handedly kill a warrior-level creature had no secrets, it was definitely impossible. Thus, Mu Nujiao had always been very curious about just what Mo Fan was hiding. Sister Mu, what needs to be disliked can be disliked. What you need to scold can be scolded. However, his strength is definitely at the top of the school. He is far more interesting and possesses more potential than those people who come from influential families and brag about being influential or strong. Co-renting with him now is an opportunity. Get familiar with him. There's a possibility he'll join the Mu family because he'll admire you. Your Mu family is currently lacking talented people. Instead of wasting so much money on those shady henchmen of other families to have them join your family, you might as well subdue this great monster. I heard Dean Xiao accidentally say that this great monster's prospects are unlimited. I-Tutu said firmly. Mu Nujiao immediately sank into deep contemplation. A person that even Dean Xiao recognized to a certain extent. Could it be that this great monster really did conceal even more power? For the Mu family, sister, can make an effort to endure it. Furthermore, I don't think the great monster is a bad person, or else he wouldn't have stepped up for the incident in the gymnasium. Since you focus a lot on your own cultivation, you may not know things in school. I heard from a lot of girls that the great monster personally saved them. I-Tutu continued. Mu Nujiao was originally firm on opposing this boring co-renting. After hearing what I-Tutu said, she began to waver. She was very curious about how Mo Fan had defeated her. She was also curious whether he was the person who actually saved all the people in the gymnasium. What made her even more curious was what this great monster was hiding. Additionally, With what I-Tutu had said about the co-renting, the possibility of attracting him into the Mu family was true. Mu Nujiao began to waver. I-Tutu seemed to know how to come to an agreement with Mu Nujiao. As long as there was some hesitation, she would carry it out. That way, Mu Nujiao would have to give a rather difficult reply. All right, however, he seems to be very close with the person from Zhao family. Thus, we need to be careful, Mu Nujiao said. Don't worry. Mo Fan didn't know that the two ladies were already plotting how to unveil his secrets. He paid the rent for the last half of the month in one shot, and then he laid down in the first-floor living room to enjoy himself. The couch was very soft. It felt as though his entire being would sink into it. It could be that Mu Nujiao had no interest in this kind of stuff since she was a very wealthy person. To Mo Fan, who was at the very rock bottom, even having to sell his house to live in as luxurious a place as this could only be described as comfortable. Furthermore, adding in Xinxia, then this place would have a total of 3 girls. This was simply living the life of an immortal. He laid there comfortably, watched some TV, browsed the internet, and drank some wine. His afternoon was incredibly satisfying. He had painstakingly cultivated for such a long time. He hadn't had a chance to loosen up and take it easy like this. Outside of the elevator, 2 delicate and handsome men carrying a large bunny were walking in. The delicate man looked very polite, smiling courteously. Even when he was doing a job like moving, he still had to display his best trait in the best manner possible. You can put the things in the living room, I-Tutu said. All right. Oh, there's actually someone who got here before us. The man wearing glasses with a scholarly smile took a glance at Mo Fan. In his eyes flashed a trace of imperceptible hostility. Mo Fan had fallen asleep on the couch. He didn't care about the other people walking in. He was in a daze when he was woken up by someone. He suddenly discovered a gigantic white rabbit plushie on his couch, and he almost jumped up. What is this? Mo Fan rubbed his eyes. Moving. Half of this couch will have my bunny on it. I-Tutu said, a little arrogantly. After saying this, I-Tutu instructed the other 2 backup boys to leave. The man wearing glasses with the scholarly smile swept a glance at Mo Fan and quickly ripped off the fake, harmless face as he said, Brother, why are you still laying there? Didn't you hear I-Tutu tell us to leave? Mo Fan glanced at the glasses man and replied, Dude, I live here. The scholarly glasses man and the other vanilla man immediately froze, eyes wide. The 2 of them quickly scoffed. Their bodies immediately let out an aura of disbelief. It seemed like they hadn't woken up from a dream. Living together with I-Tutu, who didn't know I-Tutu was always with Mu Nujiao. Living with I-Tutu was equal to living together with Mu Nujiao. Stop daydreaming, hurry up and get lost. The vanilla man looked very refined, yet the things he said were not refined at all. Mo Fan immediately creased his brow. Your daddy, I'm laying here resting comfortably. How come there are 2 dog-looking things coming at me trying to berate me? The ones who should get lost are you guys. This is my house. Mo Fan stood up, his gaze on the 2 guys who were deliberately looking for a fight. I-Tutu saw the 2 sides being hostile to one another, and she started to get excited. With a devious expression, she ran to the side and grabbed some snacks to eat. Her eyes flashed with a certain killing intent as she looked at Mo Fan and the 2 backup boys, having no intention of resolving the misunderstanding at all. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.